Hey everybody, welcome to the show. I appreciate you tuning in for another brand new review. So what's in store for you here tonight? Folks, we're headed back to Black Mirror. We are going into our second episode of the new season. Tonight we are talking Bête Noire. But let's not waste any time and jump right on into things. If you haven't seen the trailer for this episode of Black Mirror yet, this tells the story of Maria, a culinary researcher who begins to question her reality after an old classmate begins to work at the same office and nothing seems to be what it once was. There it is, folks. That is Bête Noire. Now, with Black Mirror, we've talked about on the show here before how the tone of each story can always go back and forth from one story to the very next. Sometimes they're overly bleak. And there's no kind of lightheartedness within it. Sometimes these tales are extremely lighthearted with a little bit of a sinister nature just kind of peeking out from around the corner. But you never know what you're going to get from episode to episode. And I kind of like that about about the show, because if you deal with one episode that's like overly depressing, that's just such a gut punch, it's nice to have that uplifting episode right after that doesn't take things as seriously and allows you to not really come with all the emotions that come into what Booker is, or excuse me, what Brooker is trying to tell in the majority of these stories. And that definitely works here with Bête Noire, because coming off the previous story, Common People, which was a real downer of an episode, like there were some jokes in it, but overall it was a real downer of an episode. We kind of needed a palate cleanser like Bête Noire in order to kind of reset us for more dark and sinister stuff that'll be happening throughout the season, because I'm positive there's going to be other stories that are going to be more of a gut punch than the way that Common People was. And in this story, again, we're following around Maria, who works in research and development for a chocolate making company. And Maria is coming up with all these new ideas that are being tested. And we see that the people aren't really responding to these new ideas and products that she's coming up with so well. But weirdly enough, during one focus group, after a second go through, suddenly everybody's on board with it. And there's a lot of incidents like these that happen throughout the episode, where Maria is under the impression she heard something, or she said something, she experienced something, she saw, whatever the case is, but then everybody around her is suddenly telling her that these things didn't happen, that it was this way before, and it's causing, obviously, a lot of frustration and the feeling that you're going insane. Bête Noire is doing a firm focus on the idea of gaslighting. Whether it's them debating the name of a popular restaurant chain, whether they're trying to figure out who drank the last of the almond milk in the employee fridge, or they're debating the existence of the actual words nut allergy. Yeah, what's a nut allergy? The whole idea that you're so incredibly sure, you are certain of something, again, that you've done, that you've experienced, whatever the case is, but no matter how certain of it that you are, somebody else is telling you there's no way that's the case. Like, I'm wearing this black shirt with a cool horror catchphrase on it, but even though I'm certain it's a black shirt, what if the next day you all start telling me, well, T, you were wearing a blue shirt in reality, and no matter how hard I try to be like, no, it's a black shirt. I was clearly wearing a black shirt. I don't wear blue shirts. Why would I have a blue shirt on? That is the way that gaslighting works, and that is very much at display here in this episode. A lot of the horror from this one is definitely coming from we as the audience feeling the same way, like we know what we saw, we know what we heard, but yet and still, why is nobody else acting the same way? So we're waiting for the twist here, and y'all know the way Black Mirror works. This is not just somebody is going crazy at this point, and these things are happening, and we're supposed to take that at face value. This person has lost their mind. No, we know technology is going to come into this. And of course, the twist of this episode is that Maria's old classmate, Verity, who participated in a focus group at the beginning of the episode, has been manipulating the space-time continuum. And it's fun because we just got done talking more time travel with the film Until Dawn. And I'm loving that every single project that's about time travel and horror has been taking a different approach. You know, we have not been getting the same idea of the day repeating, stuck in a time loop. It's all been different ways of approaching it. And that keeps it fresh for sure. And in this particular case here, what it turns out that Verity is doing is she has some kind of device that basically allows her to change the fabric of time and space. So if, for example, again, going back to the shirt idea, I'm wearing a black shirt while I'm recording this review right now, Verity would just change that to suddenly make it that it was always a blue shirt instead. So even though I remember it's a black shirt, I'm the only person outside of Verity that can recall that. Everybody else has had their minds changed completely because they're now in a different alternate universe. We are now taking the history and the future of that alternate universe and going forward with it. We are not going to deep dive into the time travel of it all because, again, y'all, time travel is so different from movie to movie, show to show, and everybody has their own rules. There's no purpose of that breaking it down. But I love the idea here that we as the viewers, we're here on Maria's side. We see and we know all the things that Maria is saying and the stuff that she's being accused of doing throughout this episode. We don't catch any of that. So then it comes into play that are we, the viewers, also insane? Are we also losing our marbles as Maria is throughout this episode? And again, as we build up to the reveal of what Verity is doing and how she's been controlling everything that's been going on, at a point we start to think that maybe Maria is just, again, like she's putting this all out there herself and she's at blame. But that is, again, the brilliance of Black Mirror, that we do have to consider that what our protagonist here is saying is incorrect. Even though we're looking through the same POV, we have to consider that Maria might not be that trustworthy. And especially given the fact that we see flashbacks of Maria in her school life with Verity and some of the bullying and torture that Maria and her friends put Verity through, it seems, again, like, well, we should have some sympathy right now for Maria and everything that she's going through. But in turn, she really brought it upon herself. And Verity is just kind of getting her just revenge for what happened back in those school days. Now, it doesn't make Verity the good person in all of this, as we see some of the stuff that she's manipulating has led to the death of folks as well, too. So this is not like Verity is justified completely in everything that she's been doing. But at the same time, you can understand her point of view for why she wants to come in and change all these things that she's doing. It's revenge, but it's revenge in a less hands-on kind of way. And I won't lie, it was very disturbing going through the episode and seeing all the different things that Verity was changing up in Maria's reality, to where, again, Maria seems so sure, she's so confident, she's telling people, well, look, I can prove it to you, and then the proof's not there. I think that is a fantastic way to tell a story like this. It's really effective, and it still has us on Maria's side, while also having us question if we can trust what we are seeing with our own eyes as well, too. So a really good episode here in the early part of this next season of Black Mirror. Season 7 so far is turning out to be an enjoyable one. And I know we still got more great episodes coming up. So I hope that you all will hit that subscribe button so you can stay on top of all the great reviews that we're going to be covering here over the coming days. Best way to stay on top and to get subscribed is to go to my link tree at linktr.ee/T-Scary-Movie. If you hit subscribe, that's going to be access to the YouTube page for the video versions of the show, your favorite podcasting platforms, the audio-only versions of the show, to my Letterboxd page for written reviews and movie rankings throughout the year, to my TikTok page for full episodes, movie news, and movie premieres, my Twitch page for horror gaming, and my Fangoria shop page where you can enjoy a 20% discount off anything in the Fangoria shop. Take advantage of that, y'all. Hit that subscribe button. Again, I got so many great reviews coming up your way. We're going to be talking Hell of a Summer. We're going to be talking Borderline, more of The Bondsman, more of Black Mirror Season 7. We just got a release date for Dexter Resurrection. We are getting a 2-episode premiere on July 11th. So we're going to be covering that here in the coming months as well. I don't want y'all to miss any of this, though. So hit that subscribe button and stay tuned. My name is T. We've been talking scary movies. Stay scared.